precipice of the Concave base. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And today we're going to Tennessee an Old Rock Day parade. Folks are going to start building in just a few minutes. Normally our parade routes, you'd be able to see a big old road here. But where is it? Is this a road? No, it's a jukebox. But that's okay. I'm going to look at it briefly while I get the chat set up. This is pretty good. I don't really normally listen to a lot of these Minecraft discs, but Pearl got me into this the other day. So we got the Concave coming up just in a minute. Does Joe's mic sound weird to anybody else? Great question. I hope not, because we're supposed to do a whole show. Okay, so let's see. Opening up my timer here. Gonna set this to 1 hour, and we are gonna start at 1:05, which is very soon. Good luck, everybody. I'm going to get into what the rules are after we get started. The contestants all already know what they're doing. So, opening this up here, popping out the chat. Okay. Welcome, Iconic Anemone, 23 Sanguinuity, Calvin, Maria Salas. Welcome, Kinsey. Please watch the caps. Take some time and read the rules. Glad to have you. Okay. And it is 1:05, so we are starting the 1 hour. Build now. But where are they building? I did say start. Build now. They are building down deep below the precipice there. Is the Concave parade route. Ooh. Ah. Boy, how come I can see through that? I need to turn my render distance up. How did it get turned down? That's very silly of me. I thought I had prepped that, but here we go. Into the cave. Each of these plots here is going to have a different player or team of players competing to create a parade float themed along the holiday chosen by our hosts, the Concave crew. The Concave crew has chosen in particular Old Rock Day, a day that celebrates geology. We'll get more into that in just a minute as I complete my stream setup here. We're just going to get a nice point of view up here. And, oh, yeah, that's right. If I Alt-Tab out, it's going to cover it. Boo. I really need to get a mod that just doesn't do that. Okay. So we are going to hit Edit and set up our YouTube stream with the proper slow mode and live reactions here. Does Old Rock Day have a theme song like National Fossil Day? Maybe. You'll have to wait and see. Just kidding, I'm not Craig Bobby. It's Old Rock Day. Everybody, hey, hey. It's Old Rock Day. Everybody, woohoo. It's time for rocks for me and for you. Old Rock Day. It's better than okay. It's Old Rock Day. So let's all celebrate. Yeah. Cruising Duck says, this is my first Joe Hill stream. What should I expect? This is a bit of an atypical stream, Cruising Duck. Most of my streams are me playing Survival Minecraft on the Hermitcraft server. This stream is my Patreon patrons playing on the 10th Orward server I host for them, having a parade float build contest. This is also an indoor parade float build contest. We don't normally have those. I might need to turn my brightness up a little bit. What is my brightness at? 60? Sorry, B-dubs. There we go. So people are going to begin building their floats. Self-illuminating your floats might be important here so creepers don't spawn. The players are in survival. There's different sized teams. Some people are working individually. Some people are working in pairs or groups. Alrighty. So, let's see. What else do I need to do to set up the stream here? Do I have my camera on? No, I don't even have my camera on. Okay, so we're going to get the camera set up. Bum, 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 bum. Okay. So I should be in slot 9, but I'm not. Why not? Okay. There I am. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here. I am down here in slot 9 putting the hot in the hot bar. Let's get these fireworks out of the way. Of course, I have no panes of green glass. Lime pane. There we go. Now I can properly chroma out my tank top. I'm slightly off to the side, too. I don't know what's up with that. Yeah, there we go. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Yay. Okay, so there I am. Hi. I'm kind of busted out on this side a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now I can kind of reach. How far can I go? Not much further, because I'm going to eventually hit the wall. Okay. So, I'm down here in slot 9, putting the hot in the hot bar. If you've never seen a Joe Hills stream before, you might not know that the camera gets bigger every time we hit certain tipping milestones. Good luck with your geo homework, 23 sanguinity. But yeah, this is a little bit different from a lot of my streams, because rather than me running around a server building stuff, other people are running around building stuff. They already knew the theme in advance, and so they were able to design and build their floats on the fly in the 1 hour provided. Ooh, somebody's building, looks like a Stargate. Big fan of that SG-1. Universe, I think, was my favorite. It wasn't necessarily the best of all the Stargates, but it had a lot of things I liked. Okay. So, what happens if we turn on the shaders in here? Is this going to be a bad idea? Because, yeah, sometimes shaders take a dark room and make it even darker. Yeah. Builds are definitely going to need lights on them to not be spawnable. And in order for them to probably be viewed properly. It is sparkly with the shaders in here. Signs placed on the sides opposite the workstations for participant names. Oh no, I hate change. I like the sign in front, but okay. That's fair. So, like, no participant. Oh, wait, no. This is the Frugal Wizard. It's just so hard to see in the dark here. You were worried it wouldn't be visible. That's fair. But yeah, make sure y'all light up your builds. That is going to be a concern here. The floor lichen is a bit much, but the ceiling looks great with the shaders. Yeah, the hanging bits are very cool. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Little city parts back there. Welcome, Red Velvet Rabbit. Glad you could join us. So yeah, let me see if I can Alt-tab out real quick and grab you some information about Old Rock Day. From the U.S. Geological something. USGS. Probably survey. Survey says something. Now, Old Rock Day is not necessarily actually today. We had to kind of schedule this parade to be as close as possible. Vin was in charge of the ceiling and lighting and was very deliberate about it. Ah. Bum, bum, bum. Got a little lay up here. Oh, that's tied up. You probably have a... Oh, interesting. Yeah, Old Rock Day was January 7th. So it's weird to me. Oh, these are in tinted glass. I was like, how come these lights aren't shining out on other stuff? Little moving stars. Very cool. 23 Sanguinity, thank you for tipping our first tip of the stream. Tipping 10 says, excited to see this. I'm in a great mood today, and I hope everybody else can have a great day too. Thank you so much, 23 Sanguinity, for supporting the arts and my work in particular. We are now $10 away from the next face camera expansion milestone. So let's see. What does the Astrogeology Science Center say about Old Rock Day? Oldest Earth rocks. Boy, this is hard to read. So according to the USGS, most Earth rocks are youngsters compared to other rocks in the solar system. That's because Earth is the only planet with active plate tectonics. Our crust is constantly being recycled. Now, ideally, you want to reduce and reuse your crust first. So, that recycling, that's a third option that we're falling back on here on Earth. Now, the USGS continues that Earth also has active erosion, which grinds down mountains and deposits sediments that turn into new rocks. And of course, if you happen to live near a volcano, you may have brand new baby rocks in your backyard. We all know the song about that. Baby rock do 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 do, baby rock do 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 do, baby rock do 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 do, from a volcano in your backyard. Dad. Hey, daughter. You should be out of frame if you hand me this here. Thank you. I just got a coffee. Thank you. Normally, I would make my coffee myself, but because we had only a brief amount of time between our Patreon quarterly meeting and the start of this stream, my superb spouse, Badger Spanner, just made me some. And, man, I probably need an alliterative... I was like, and my something child... I don't... Does alliteration work with the ch sound? Is cha-cha alliterative? Delightful daughter, cheerful child, cherished child. Yeah, there we go. My human child. I like human child. I think that's the best. As the parent of a human child. Okay. But yeah, we've got a few other things going on too. A lot of people downloaded Pitfalls and Penguins after I talked about it on the Imp and Skiz podcast. Cherished Child is also very good. Thank you, Queen Dark Lady. Guys, whoever is building this stairway thing here, you're going to want to put some lights on it. There's no way that is mob safe. We will see some spectacular spawning, as Hotel Tal puts it, if you're not careful about that. Okay. So let me go make sure I've got the right Discord window open here. Welcome, Red Velvet Rabbit. But yeah, so I was on the Imp and Skiz podcast on Friday, and I had a great time. If you haven't seen it yet, why is this not in my links list? I need to put this in my links list. I also... It's like F3 and what to Alt-Tab out without the overlay coming on in Minecraft. F3 Alt-Tab. In Minecraft. There's like something like if you hit... Is there a way to... F3 and P, and then I also have to hold down Alt and Tab. That did not work. Okay, so for one thing, it opened this whole screen. It used to be that if you had F1 on, then it wouldn't show this text screen here, and now it does, and it's driving me nuts. F3 and P stops auto-pausing, but it doesn't stop the... It doesn't stop the debug screen or the text from showing up. I'm going to have to get a mod for that. I am sorry, y'all. Because the problem is I need to be able to Alt-Tab out constantly to do stuff. Like post links and stuff. But, yeah. Imp and Skiz podcast. Videos. Okay. Morning, Lone Courier. Because, yeah, I want to just be able to leave the camera here going. The answer might just be straight up to do all of the links and the chats and stuff on my laptop. I'm just going to be resigned to the fact that that's what we're doing now. Okay. I was on the imp. Okay. 2025 link list. I was on the Imp and Skiz podcast. I was a guest. Well, I guested. I guested on the Imp and Skiz podcast. Yay. Now we gotta actually open up that link on the laptop and post it. Boy. Imp and Skiz podcast. Okay, so our folks are actively building for another 45 minutes. 45 minutes remain. 3/4 of the build time remains. Let's go parade float build cruise. Okay. Twitch.tv/popout/JoeHills/chat. Okay. So you guys can. So I've pinned that on the thing here. YouTube.com/JoeHillsTSD. Team Snow Day. Woo. Gonna open up the chat here. Pin message. Okay. Welcome, Orwolf. Glad you could join us. Dang it, I keep forgetting I can't move the mouse without Minecraft freaking out. Okay, I'm going to try this without the shaders for a second. I think it's definitely easier to see the builds without the shaders on. Is this the furthest back build here? Oh, we got several back here that have not gotten a lot of coverage on the camera. Okay. Can I pop out this YouTube chat as well? So, let's go ahead and mention too that this is my Patreon server. So, the Patreon server is for patrons that support the show at the $10 a month or higher level. We have multiple servers that I run. Whoa. This is what I call the 10th Orward server. This is the flagship bleeding edge server that I run. We have the Everstorm server that I also run. That's a monthly hardcore reset server. So every month the server resets, so everybody who was dead comes back to life. And if they had and also I install different weird mods every month, so the players have to figure out what the weird mods are. One month I'll install like really obvious mods like that add cool structures and stuff to explore to the world, but then there'll also be like a mod that like has double doors. So when you open one door, the door next to it opens or closes too, right? Or there will be a mod that lets you link boats together. Players might not even realize that, or link minecarts together. There might be a mod that makes campfires heal you or damages mobs. There might be a mod that makes beds explode or crafting benches destroy each time that you craft one item with them. You know, that sort of thing. All sorts of weird stuff. Hello, Ann Rose says, just finished the Imp and Skiz podcast and loved it. Hey, I'm so glad. I am so glad. But yeah, I am going to go ahead and, in order to get my links from one computer to the other, I'm going to have to real quickly copy this file into Google Docs, which means alt-tabbing out. But the goal is to not keep alt-tabbing out, so excuse me for a second. So, Google Docs. Whoops. Dang it. I don't want spreadsheets. I want a normal document. Add document. Okay, dismiss. I don't want to try AI in my favorite apps. Okay, so, yeah, so we're going to call this links 2025. And we're going to share that with my other account so I can get to it on the laptop easier. Send. Okay, great. So now I should have my entire link list in, admittedly, a terrible format on the other computer, too. Howdy there, Repairman Dan. So, hello and Rose. Was there anything in the Imp and Skiz podcast that particularly jumped out at you, or anything that you'd like to hear more about? If anybody has follow-up questions or anything based on stories I told or things I mentioned in the podcast, I'm happy to answer those as well. Okay. Okay, so this is links. And then there's a separate thing for notes, probably. Okay. Ah, here is the Patreon link that I was looking for. Levstar says, I just finished reading, or started reading Frankenstein, and I'm loving it so far. Awesome. Yeah, Frankenstein is a great, great story. I haven't had the chance to read it for a few years, but that's definitely one I'm going to revisit soon. Right now, Moby Dick is occupying a lot of my reading time. Okay. Actually, it might make more sense to pin this Patreon message. Okay. Levstar says, Frankenstein's so different from what I expected. That's the thing, though, is these books are classics for a reason, you know? They survived for over a century because not only were they were in... We remember them partially because they were influential, but one of the reasons they were influential is because they were just good. Kindleist has a question about the Team Snow Day store. That's not surprising. I don't think that shop page... Or I need to take down the shop page there. That should not be active. Were you trying to buy a physical copy of the Pitfalls of Penguins book? Honestly, I don't know how much of this stuff we have in... We have like a storage thing where all of these t-shirts that we couldn't sell and the leftover books ended up. You tried 8 months ago. Lakshmi13 says, I was curious when you talked about the witness in court, was that close to what they were saying, or did you make up something that sounded serious? That's close to what they were saying. It wasn't exactly word for word because I didn't write it down, but it was as close as I could remember. Like, it was what I heard when I walked into the courtroom. Kindle says, if copies did become properly available, I'd pick up a copy from my D&D shelf. I will... The problem is, if I talk to the guy who controls that storage about getting the books out of there, he's going to say, great, take all the t-shirts too. He's basically, I think he's going to, if I try to do, that's one of those things that everybody's fine just leaving the stuff there indefinitely. But the second I start pulling anything out, it's going to be, okay, great, well, just pull everything out, put it in your new garage. And that's a hard conversation to have with my spouse because there's a lot of stuff in there. So, and the problem is when we ordered these t-shirts initially, we didn't know what sizes we're going to sell. So there's like, I'd say there's probably 12 cubic feet of t-shirts and stuff in there, possibly including books, but I'm not even 100% sure there are books in there. But basically, if I pull those out, I need a plan to get rid of all these shirts, which I kind of think I could maybe, like, this is one of those things, like, my plan was, once I launched my new merch store, to add these as retro or vintage TSD items. And because at the point where I'm prepared to ship stuff anyway, I might as well try and get rid of some of this old stuff too. But I'm not ready for that yet. Yeah, this is part of the reason I haven't spun up a new merch store yet, is because the last one took so much space. Hopefully Joe's wearing a shirt this time. Nice podcast episode, by the way. Well, if I alt tab over here, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm still in slot 9 wearing putting the hot in the hot bar. Yep, I've got my crop top sweater on, but it's lime green, so you can't see it. Greyheart says, are you saying you are currently overstocked and preparing to pass the savings on to us? At some point, yes. But spinning up the merch store, one of the things I needed was the car. Because I knew once I spun up the merch store, I was going to probably have to go empty out that storage stuff. Kindle says, offer them up at the next charity stream or auction. There's a lot of them. And so shirts are a hard thing to do for charity auctions because they're all different sizes. They cost, $5 to ship each. So I also don't know that the charity wants to sell shirts that say, I like to smoke in front of new people so they can see how awesome I am. Or don't believe God has a sense of humor, look in a mirror. Right? Like there's concerns there, possibly. Welcome, Rainwood. My Patreon patrons are currently 27 minutes into a 1-hour parade float build contest. They are building parade floats themed around the holiday Old Rock Day, a geology-focused educational holiday here in the United States. And so we got all sorts of old rock-themed builds. I don't want to look at the builds too closely now until the judging. So right now we're just kind of basically chilling and talking while the folks build. But we've got floats going.
To get a tour of the cave while we're chilling?
That would be good, but maybe not quite yet, because I am actually still. I really overestimated how much time I would have between the previous stream and this stream, and so I am still getting settled. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the tour We currently have 31 minutes and 50 seconds remain. Let's do the tour in about 10 minutes. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Cool. Thank you, Quill. Okay. Yeah, sorry. So like I said, I am still getting settled here while everybody does their builds. Bum, bum, bum. Lakshmi13 says that the shirts are funny. Well, thank you, Lakshmi13. I'm glad. But yeah, also I did want to keep answering any questions folks have that follow up on the Imp and Skiz podcast. Are they building in survival? Yes, this is a survival server. Now, I do give people blocks as rewards for these build contests. So even though the players are in survival, the people who participate in this and the people who win this would get some blocks that I give them from like commands or creative mode. But the players can't just run around spawning stuff all the time. That's like a special treat for participating in the events. And they can't spawn stuff in creative mode during the event either, because nobody has creative access but me. So yeah, it's a mostly survival server with a trickster god. So yay, have fun with that. Okay. So yeah, other follow-up questions to the Imp and Skiz thing. We had the question about the store. We had a question about the court thing. I feel like we had something rolled in on the Twitch chat. Let me check that. Would I want to do a part 2 to the podcast episode? I don't think a part 2 would be appropriate. If they invited me back to be a guest about a different topic, that would be great, but I don't think we need a part 2 talking about me. Like, I don't have... does anybody know how often, like, when Imp and Skiz have a guest return, what's usually the gap between their first guesting and their second appearance? Because I don't want to send Imp and Skiz a list of topics I'd like to discuss next week if they always wait 18 months. I'd want to send it in like 16 months. Like, hey guys, if you guys are looking for somebody in the next 2 months, or, you know, if you guys are, it's been a while since I've been on the show. If you end up having a gap, here's some topics. Kindle says, I was hoping for a parenting themed chat, because between the hermits, you have every age bracket covered. That's fair. Levstar says, so what's the project you're working on? Right now, I was actually in the process of trying to set my laptop up to be better at managing the chat, because every time I alt-tab out on the desktop, it puts an overlay, and then you can't see what the builders are doing, and that's not fun. So let's take down the setting up now sign. See, even switching to OBS, it has that overlay there. Okay. Oh, that was the thing that I was trying to get done. I knew I had something where it's like I was in the middle of something and I didn't quite get it knocked out. I was trying to post the Pitfalls and Penguins link. And I needed to copy my link over. Yes, okay. So I made a TTRPG. Okay. Yeah, so for the people that were curious about Pitfalls and Penguins, the tabletop role-playing game I mentioned during the Imp and Skiz podcast, there is the download link for that. And you can name your own price there. So just put 0 in if you would just want the PDF. Welcome F3 and P to Alt-Tab without pausing. Well, it still covers the screen. It doesn't pause the game, but we're in multiplayer, so it wasn't going to pause anyway. Hey, Levstar, I'm glad you got the Tamagotchi working. Awkward One says, I don't think they've even ever had guests return. Oh, okay. The only return guest has been Tango, but that made them want to start bringing more people back for topic conversations. Gotcha. So how many how many weeks or how many, like, was it a year between when Tango was on the first time and when he came back? Was it 6 months? I'm assuming it's probably a year to a year and a half, but I haven't actually looked it up. Kindle says at least a week. Gotcha. Cool Potato Build says watching the stream while building my new armadillo Lego set. Awesome. Hey, good morning, Chloe the Great and Powerful. Glad you could join us. Okay. Yeah. Now, Lakshmi13, the thing about parenting themed chats is a lot of times our kids don't want us talking about them. And so we can focus it on our own experiences as much as possible. But, like, it's hard to talk about parenting without talking about your kids. You know what I mean? And so that is definitely something where we'd have to be kind of thoughtful about our approach. Because, we're not mommy bloggers or whatever, where the kids are the content. I don't like using that word except derisively, so that was fairly derisive. Like, we happen to have kids and we are performance artists and humorists, but we're not people whose goal is to take our kids' lives and turn them into money for us. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times we avoid talking too much about our kids in general just to give them space to be their own people, you know? And at the same time, our experiences as parents are probably interesting and valuable for people to hear about. And so exploring that in a thoughtful way wouldn't be a bad idea. But it is the sort of thing that would require intentionality and preparation. And hermits, famously good at preparation. What if a few parents get on with beef and give him advice? You know what I think we should do? I think, you know what? So many people loved seeing Cleo and I on the Imp and Skiz podcast. Let's write a message to Cleo real quick. Dear Cleo, I hope this Discord direct message finds you well. After my recent appearance on the Imp and Skiz podcast, I've received multiple comments from viewers, from listeners. I've received multiple comments from listeners let's spell that correctly, suggesting that you and I should be joint guests on their show sometime. As neither you nor I are in charge of booking guests for the Imp and Skiz podcast, as neither you nor I are in charge of booking guests for the Imp and Skiz podcast, I thought perhaps it might be advantageous for us to instead invite them to appear during one of our arts and crafts streams. They could possibly work on some sort of joint project, like a Lego set in the same room during the call. And we could pepper them with questions about some sort of topic or another. I'd be happy to brainstorm possible topics with you at your convenience. Okay, we need to close this out somehow. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this proposal. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this proposal. You know what? Let's roll back though to I hope this Discord direct message finds you well. Do I want to mention all the I appreciate your efforts on the King Joel card and wish you all the recovery time you may need. What follows is not a time sensitive. So, not a time sensitive note. I look forward to hearing your thoughts on this proposal. Okay, and so then we need to go to Wikipedia and find out what day it is. Wiki Jan 12. And we're gonna close this message to Cleo with some sort of holiday greeting. Happy Indian National Youth Day, Happy Prosecutor General's Day, Happy Zanzibar Revolution Day. Please enjoy the rest of the feast of Benedict Biscop. Look forward to hearing your thoughts on this proposal and hope I haven't interrupted your celebration of the feast of Benedict Biscop. Until next time, Cleo, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Done. That's how you write an email to bother Cleo. But then you send it in Discord because I don't want to open the email client. Okay. So that's my counter proposal to everybody suggesting, what if Imp and Skiz have you both on their podcast? It's what if we invite Imp and Skiz on our thing? Okay. I spelled received wrong. God, I spelled advantageous really wrong. Kindle says you should mail them a Duplo set. We wanted to ease you guys into the arts and crafts stream experience, so we sent you a Duplo set. Brick Buildery, this is not Hermitcraft. This is my invite well, not invite only. It's Discord patron. This is my Patreon patron SMP server. And so just where are we on time? We have 15 minutes remaining. Okay, so now that I've got that Gumroad thing done, I've sent Cleo that message about inviting Imp and Skiz on our show. I'll be on in about 6 hours. Okay. Okay. The Joe and Cleo show is every Wednesday morning at 8:30 U.S. Central Time. Let me see if I can find my stream schedule here. Okay. I am in the process of trying to get my my links list over to my laptop so I can post links easier. So there's the stream schedule. I need to also organize that. And then I do need to follow up with Quill. I think we've probably blown past that 10-minute target for that tour. Quill, are you still here?
Yeah, we're still here.
Okay, cool. I am not quite ready. I am getting very, very nearly ready. Sorry. Joe Hills. As prepared as the other hermits. Okay. I think I've... Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I'm putting the laptop away. I think it should be fine now. But yeah, if you guys look at the stream schedule on Wednesday mornings, you'll see Joe and Creo craft streams. It's not quite Imp and Skiz podcast level of quality, and we don't make a podcast out of it, but we do have a hangout where we discuss topics. Okay. Cleo, like zombie Cleo. Okay. So, Quill, where should I meet you guys for the tour?
We have a couple of options, but I think Vin wants to showcase the walkways that are up. If you go above the factory area and the stalactites that are up there, you'll actually find there are some lit walkways you can land on.
Okay, I'm hanging out in the walkways. It's a great view from up here of all the floats.
Okay, I'm gonna teleport Joe Hill says to Vin Shoken, because that's okay. Howdy, Vin.
Howdy. yeah, this is my next project. I only got a few walkways around here, but they're all. I've got a whole network, a few platforms up here. You can like traverse and like run around up here. It's fun.
Oh, that's cool. It does have a great vantage point for watching the parade. So, can you tell us a little bit about the Concave project? How many people worked on all this, and where did the idea come from?
We
Hi.
had. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
You sure?
Yeah, go for it.
We planned this out very well.
So, this is
Yeah,
Joju talking now for the benefit
Hi,
of.
yes, this is Joju. Yes, hello.
So, Joju, tell
I
us
yeah.
about the Concave project kickoff.
Yes. So the Concave project is a long-term vision based on the idea, initially, of dwarf capitalism. We figured the theme of this season was company towns, so we wanted to build a company town for Fantasy Race. It ended up moving away from that into more of a generic, corrupt corporate hierarchy. There are a lot of jokes we make about our business practices here, and none of them are true, we promise. I think our best example of how our theme has developed is the sort of class structure we built out along the walkway down below. Although I see from the stream you're outside right now, that's a thing I did, or that's a thing I'm proud of there. I didn't do the mountain myself, that was mostly Vin and Quail, but we're currently working on the Concave ski resort complex up there.
Gotcha.
You can see the cabin poking up. And you're coming up on the entrance right now on the stream. That is the concave front, or there's the concave front door. Those ally statues, I believe those were quills, but the a lot of the line work and art was Vin. Inside the cave, you'll see most of the lighting. You're passing right now over our iron farm, which we turned into a larger factory on the ground. There's a lot of environmental detailing going on there to indicate that it's polluting what's near it, which are our slums / villager trading areas. I also see you're looking at the chains. The chains
I'm
there.
going to have to share my screen with you because you are like 20 seconds behind.
Am I? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I keep trying to fly back to whatever you're talking about, so it's still kind of syncing up, but yeah. Okay, now you can see it in Discord. Also, welcome NJ Coffee Junkie Raiders. We are currently hanging out for the Old Rock Day Parade Float Build Contest. 9 minutes and 15 seconds remain, builders. 9 minutes and 15 seconds before judging. And we're talking to Joju. I had asked one question. You've listed several people who worked on the project. Quill, Vin Shoken. How many people have contributed to this project? Like, what is the core team?
We have 5 people that I would say are consistently on the roster. It is myself, Quill Lava Bucket, Moon Roses, Vin Shoken, and Quail. Cool. And between us, we've done most of the building details here, and I'm especially, I said, proud of the environmental storytelling going on here. I'm going to sync up. All right, I'm looking at your stream now to sync up with what it is you're looking at. You are currently hovering over these slums.
Yeah, you said that you had the iron factory or whatever kind of seeping into the water there. Yeah.
So that's the idea here. Is this is the degraded part, but as you move farther into the cave, you get to higher class buildings.
Ah, yeah, I noticed that you got some fancier structures over here.
Yeah. The one directly in front of you, the big white castle, that's supposed to be our prime real estate. And I actually saw a lot of it for the first time this morning. I hope people noticed the gardening details.
Yeah, I see you got some coral in there, so you must have some water blocks hidden in those slabs. Very cool.
And around it, everything else there is a permitted shop in accordance with the concave permitting structure, or some kind of storage for us. We're working towards filling that out, and we have spaces available for rent if people would like to do that.
Ooh. Very cool.
Except the room with all the allays in it, that's Vin's room.
Oh yeah, that was very important. I'm currently standing on top of it, actually. The apiary. It should be directly opposite.
It's across from the building.
Oh,
no, the big glass tower.
Big glass tower.
Yeah.
Ooh, that is really cool. The apiary.
We have to show you Moon and I have to show you the lava lamp in action.
Oh, because you can make them blob and chase note blocks and stuff?
It's the lava lamp, a lava lamp.
A lava lamp. Let me switch the shaders on real quick. I don't know if the allays emit light in the shader. Maybe not. No. It's a shame. But yeah, it does look very cool regardless.
This is probably my favorite thing in the building.
It's very fluidly dynamic, which does scream lava lamp. Lakshmi13 in the Discord chat says that's amazing. Awesome.
This is Moonrose. It's very, very fun to actually just stand in it and throw amethyst shards because they'll blob up to the player.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, and we have redstone. We had to have a way to control it so that we could actually like make edits to the build while there was a million allays in there.
Mm-hmm. So you have like something that'll attract them down at the ground level if you need to swap out a window.
You know, we pull a lever to turn on the note block.
Oh, that is loud. Yeah, I'm
A
gonna
looping.
back off.
It's Vinstone. It's just a couple observers.
There you go. That's all you need sometimes. Very
and
cool.
you just chuck them an item, and then they like throw it all at the note block, and they make a good popping sound. I was comparing it to Joe stream mining sounds or allays with note blocks turned off. Item popping sounds.
Whoa. This is very cool from the inside, too. Spectacular stuff. Now, Vin, was this mountain here? If I fly outside real quick, did you build this mountain? Or was this mountain already here?
This was a mountain biome, if I'm remembering correctly, but it's hard to tell because I just started placing stone. Quail came and placed half the stone because my fingers hurt after several weeks of placing stone. It's a little different to holding down the left click. It's repeated clicking the right click button. I've placed 100,000 stone. I think Quail placed 100,000 stone, and we went around and put snow and dirt and trees and ski resorts. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I used the Cubban 135 Concorp, kind of thematic Concorp mountains wireframe method that I learned from him in season 6. Just wireframed it out and placed the blocks.
Very cool. Just as a warning to our contestants, 3 minutes and 40 seconds remain in the build time. So yeah, I see you guys have a ski lift going in here. So you're still continuing to expand the build and add new things.
Doju's been adding a resort up top that's going to have a tram on it.
Oh, is that this little lodge here?
Yeah.
Very cool. I'm going to fly back inside. So do you guys have any neighbors? Are there any other folks who have built in the area? I see like there's this cylinder thing out here. Is that yours too, or is that other people's?
Oh yeah, if you're seeing the cylinder, that's my industrial district.
Gotcha. What do you make in the cylinder?
The cylinder is a very creatively applied gunpowder farm, let's say.
Okay. So it's a creeper farm cylinder.
Yes.
Gotcha.
There are a few other farms in the area. I kind of put it there in the hopes that it wouldn't be seen as part of the Concave project because it is not pretty. But I'm still using the area as an active experimentation zone.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see how much time we have left on the clock. 2 minutes and 12 seconds remain. I'm really bad at nailing like when we're right on the minute whatever warning. So, yeah. This is a cool little platform here with your teleporter pad. your... Isn't it? Do you guys have a end access?
Yeah, it's in the north end of the bridge.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
one end is the spawn button, and then the other end is the end portal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'd also recommend going over to the end portal side of the cavern to see the garden. I don't think you looked at that yet.
I don't think I went all the way through.
Yeah, Quail did a bunch of work on that, and then Quill, I believe, did the rest of it. And Quill just added that allay, and I'm so happy about that. That big allay
Oh,
up there.
very
It's
cute.
so pretty. It's exactly what the cave needed.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see this little garden up here. This is very cute.
I think the story here is that this is where the people can relax and have some nature outside of the kind of stony old rock sort of atmosphere.
That's fair. We are, just as a reminder, 48 seconds away from the conclusion of the build. Get those last-minute finishing touches in, folks. Hurry, hurry,
Also-
Out
hurry.
of time, I would very quickly like to call attention to the trees because those were a recent add, and I think they're gorgeous.
That is, of course, an abbreviation for addition. These are recent additions to the project, for those of y'all who are not native English speakers. That's a little bit of business speak that has invaded the rest of the language.
I'm also gonna point out the end portal. Vin did a really cool thing where it looks like our end portal's linking into our beacon.
Yeah, I
with the
saw
light
that.
dark.
That is cool.
I do love my glasswork.
So is the beacon underneath here? Oh, that's very cool.
We have access to the beacon via powdered snow underneath carpet.
Gotcha. And that is time. Build pencils down, everybody. Thank you so much to Joju, Quill, Quail, Vin. Joju, who am I missing? There was a fifth person.
Moon roses.
Moon Roses, thank you. Sorry. For sharing this incredible backdrop for our parade float build contest. We are about to begin judging. We're going to be starting at the front of the parade route and working our way back. I'm assuming the front door is where the vehicles are heading toward?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you again to the Concave build crew. Up next, we're going to be talking to the Frugal Wizard about this build here. I'm going to switch the shaders off because these builds were designed for more of a vanilla look. And also, it is way too hard to see them with the shaders on in the dark. So, Frugal Wizard, can you tell me either in voice or in text chat what I am looking at here? You're going to be on push to talk. This is a push to talk only channel.
Go to chat.
So, you're in F1. Frugal is typing in chat.
Frugal Wizard says, this is my representation of what a sapphire geode, which by no means really exists, would look like. The sapphire is a one-of-a-kind and is being put on display for everyone attending the parade. As you can tell, the geode's owner spared no expense, even going so far as to enlist a few wardens to carry the float instead of horses. So let's go ahead. So we've got wheels here. We've got the sapphire geode. Oh, okay. So this is being pulled into there from the entrance. Okay, I did have the order of the floats backwards then. If this is being pulled this way. Very cool. We got some cool little sparkles in here. We got some glass. Looking good. Thank you very much, Frugal Wizard. Okay, if all the floats are actually going the other direction, though, I do need to
mention
go the other.
That they built it the wrong direction around.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I was going to say, I like to go up the route. Yeah, so. Very cool, though. Thank you, Frugal. Got some fun little wardens down here. That one looks like he's exerting some effort. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so next up, our next float is from Mailman Dave 152. Mailman Dave, you want to tell us what we are looking at here?
Okay, sure. This is a well, it's not very clever. It's a stone talus. He's very old. He's the oldest stone talus. His name's Bob because according to my daughter, Bob is an old name.
Yeah, it's short for
So it's
Bobbert, one of our oldest human names. Sorry.
no. So yeah. So my daughter was telling me something. She helped me with the build.
Oh,
So
cool.
so part of this is that the challenge of the build is that this is zero prep other than I gathered materials and put them in a rock and put them in boxes. I do not, there's non-creative mode at all. I put some materials in some boxes and I built something.
Very fun. Nice free
That was
form.
that was
Stone
the challenge.
talus. It is. It is very cool. For those of you unfamiliar with the Legend of Zelda series, the talus are kind of these rock monsters, boulder monsters that pull themselves out of the earth and start swinging rocks at you. This is an excellent representation of one. Well
Yeah,
done to
it's been a very long time since someone climbed on him. So he's like gathered all sorts of moss and stuff.
Yeah, I like it. Very cool three-dimensionality to it. Well done, Mailman Dave and Mail Daughter, etc. I don't know. But yeah, this looks great. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and see who we've got next here. Is this one facing the same way? This is the Red Rocks by Mantua Maker and Dottie Matrix.
Yeah, Joe, we're facing toward the front of
Okay,
the parade.
cool.
Heading the right way. So yeah, this is Red Rocks, the premier music venue in my area. So, and it's a natural amphitheater, so it shows off the amazing power of rocks that it can get the perfect acoustics for a show. I'll point out that our band playing right now is the lovely old rock band of Smash Mouth,
Oh,
and we have worked on trying to pose everybody, and I stopped in that third row because you stole my book. If you find yourself in the third row there, with
oh
have
yeah,
a
it
book.
is like in the, yep, behind my back there. Yep.
Yep. So, yeah, that's kind of the basis. I picked the orange because it was closest to the red rocks that I could choose, and then the granite was perfect for the granite floor of the place.
This looks fantastic. Got a fun little float here. Very gorgeous red rocks. And you say that that's a real thing. Let me see if I can find that real quick for people at home. Red Rocks Amphitheater. Wow, there's a lot of tickets on sale. Let me find the Wikipedia page, though, because they're not a sponsor. Here, for anybody who wants to learn more about the Red Rocks Amphitheater, you can do so on Wikipedia or at your local library. But yeah, this does look really cool. Just the aerial views and things I'm looking at here. Looks like, yeah, it seems like you really nailed it. Thank you so much, Mantua Maker, for sharing, and also to Dottie Matrix for sharing part of your local exciting geology. H20S says, hey, I live 30 minutes from there. Cool. Yeah, it's really fun when people take stuff from the real world and bring it into Minecraft. Let's see who we have next here on this sign. It is Fossils, the Spine of Understanding Science by Ma Senta Avfoxcado. This is Team Magenta and Centauratron, it looks like. So, who's going to be presenting here?
Magenta, myself, will. So for Old Rock Day, we kind of started thinking about fossils because fossils is rocks. We wanted to do a float depicting two spinosaurs, kind of probably one of the dinosaurs that's kind of changed the most in terms of how we understand it. We have the brown one here that's depicted kind of how most people would know it, kind of how you saw it in like Jurassic Park 3. And it's the kind of the older interpretation of what we thought it would have looked like.
Sure.
And then we have our teal one, which is the more modern understanding of the Spinosaurus, where it's on four legs, it's a bit longer, a bit more adapted to an aquatic environment, or kind of a swamp thing. But yeah, the point of this float was to depict how important fossils are to our understanding of the world, not just with like modern history, but prehistory as well. And then we've also got a little scientist cub and a scientist gem out here giving presentation on our dinosaurs.
Wow, this is spectacular. I really love the level of detail that you guys put into making these volumetric. Did one of you take the lead on that, or did you both kind of, when you were brainstorming this, were you both kind of adding and removing trapdoors and posts and stuff?
So Sent came up with the concept and asked for my help with kind of the organic side of it. So I did a lot of the legwork on the dinosaurs themselves.
Fantastic. And so you've got not only the dinosaurs, which already a standout piece, but then you've also got presenters here and a whole little biome going on.
Yeah, Sent did the the base of the float and the biome and the armor stand work. There's a little fish in the mouth of one of them as well.
I will say I love the way you guys did the eyes. The eyes are a real standout element here. Just having that little bit of ore poking through, or that little bit of that box. I have not seen that done in Minecraft. I mean, maybe another hermit has done it, but I haven't noticed it. If so, that's spectacular. But yeah, the lamps, the copper lamps in particular, very eye-like, very cool. This is a great contribution. Thank you so much for sharing it with us all. We're gonna move on now to Superstone. Oh, I don't know if I can pronounce this. Nuvuagwatuk Greenstone Belt. So
yeah, it's an Inuktitut word, so I don't know how to pronounce it either. I say Nuvuagwatuk.
Cool. I'm not going to try it again, but I believe you. Tell me what we're looking at here.
So this is a piece of a greenstone belt from the east shore of the Hudson Bay in Canada, in Quebec, as you can see on the license plate.
Okay.
And this is one contender for the oldest rock formation in the world. There were some rocks there that one team dated to be 4.2 or maybe even 4.4 billion years old.
Wow.
And the Earth is only 4.5 billion years old, so that's almost from the beginning.
Wow.
Another team thinks that it's only 3.8 billion years old. And the last paper on this came out in 2012, so no conclusion on this yet. Sounds like they're waiting for someone to find enough uranium to do a uranium date, and no one's found that yet.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. I'm going to real quickly alt-tab out so I can find this greenstone belt on Wikipedia for folks to compare this with, if I can, oh boy. And this was a particular one though. Ooh, okay, I found the right one here. I'm going to link this for everybody at home. Oh, that's the red rock.
Rock in particular is based on a photo from Geology In.
Very cool. So there's a lot of cool stuff this parade. People pulling in fantastic stuff from out in the world and below the world. So props again to Concave for coming up with a fantastic theme. We are seeing so many incredibly creative ways to express excitement for Old Rock Day. This was not a holiday that was even on my radar. I had never heard of this until Concave pitched it, and we've already had some incredible submissions. We are not even done. There are several more floats down this way. It looks like we have, is this a float or is this a concave snail? So this is the hosts have some funny little snails in here for us. Thank you again to Concave. I'm glad that I took a minute to call you out. Do you have anything real quick to say about these snails?
They've been plaguing us for a while. Occasionally they've been on the ceiling, in our storage, they've been everywhere. Yeah, they've been roaming the server, and at one point we had to give them vaccines because they were spreading skulk. It was a whole ordeal.
Well, I'm glad that they are a safe distance from the other livestock in the parade, so good choices there. We got a little slime trail. But if we move on to our next contestant, let's see what we got here. It's Dez, very significant boulder from real life, maybe. Dez, tell us about this very significant boulder.
Yes. So this boulder is inspired by a possible pizza delivery driver who definitely existed in real life and happened to put stuff places such as Shmakini Shmatum. And this is also, I just wanted to make a boulder.
That's fair.
It's on top of some rolling wood so that it can move. And inside there's redstone to make it work, which definitely works, does not work.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much, Des, for sharing this traditionally moved boulder. Real quick, as we continue down the line, I'm going to take a second to remind folks, this is a viewer-supported stream. I'm down here in where slot 9 would be, putting the hot in the hot bar. We are $10 away from our first face camera expansion milestone. If anybody is enjoying the stream, feel free to tip. Okay, up next, we've got a pretty significant cobblestone contribution. Let me see if I can find the sign. Old Hands by Stellar Spider. Stellar Spider, tell me what I'm looking at here. Push to talk, Stellar? Or are you typing? Stellar Spider says, I have a short written book about my float, as well as a picture I'll put in the live event chat. So I will go and read that book real quick. Old Hands. I'm fascinated with petroglyphs and other examples of how humans have used stone throughout history. Some examples in this float include rock carvings, statues, natural caves as shelter, historical... Why doesn't it turn? Oh, because I'm in spectator mode. Game mode. Creative. What? How did
I turned it, sorry.
How did I get teleported? Okay, well, hold on. Joe Hills. I'm going to teleport myself real quick to Stellar Spider. Or, yeah. Did I throw an ender pearl earlier and not realize it? I don't know. Okay. Architecture, utilities such as stars and earths and mythical objects, the monolith. The centerpiece is a petroglyph near my parents' house in Arizona. I can see it from a trail I hike regularly. A float was also a personal challenge to use only cobblestone, the first rock available in Minecraft. Some sculptural elements I included were texture, balance, negative space, and light. Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at that. It is indeed the oldest stone in Minecraft, which is a fantastic note. I've got my brightness maxed out, so let's switch the shaders back on real quick for a second to see how that looks. Ooh, that looks pretty darn good with the shaders on. Working with a singular material is a interesting artistic challenge. So we are primarily examining the float from the distance here. Now, if you were looking at this from the street level, that second floor would be pretty hard to see into, but there are some choices made architecturally here we want to quickly showcase. Okay. Thank you very much to Stellar Spider for sharing that. Before we move on to our next float, it looks like we just had a tip roll in. Let's see who that was from. It looks like we just got a tip from Jacob for 5, who says, thanks for the Old Rock Day Parade. Well, thank you, Jacob, for supporting the arts and my work in particular, and thank you again to our friends at Concave for hosting in this beautiful setting. All right. So yeah, we just briefly turned on the shaders so we could appreciate the lighting. It's one key to hit the shader button and a bunch of things to turn the brightness down. So, here we go. Let's see our next contender. It is Alpacatastic. Alpacatastic, what have we got here?
Hello.
Hello.
So for this float, first off, I had never heard of Old Rock Day before this parade either, so I wanted to look into it and really contemplate what it mean, what the terms Old Rock could really mean in all its possible interpretations.
Sure.
So One of the things I did look at was that USGS site where they talk about how the oldest known Earth rock was actually not discovered on the Earth. It was brought back from the moon by the Apollo mission.
Mm-hmm.
And that rock is 4.46 billion years old. So attached to the float in the form of a balloon, I have a representation of the moon up there to celebrate that particular old rock.
Very cool.
Now, I also thought about fossils because there are, paleontological meanings for this holiday as well. And now Minecraft does natively have what they call fossils, but the fossils that you find in the Minecraft world are not actually fossils because they are unfossilized bones. So for my float, I built the same kind of structure, but out of actual rock.
Great. Very cool. So yeah, we've got, this is, what's the word for this? Tough. No, it's calcite. Calcite's actual rock.
Yes, it's calcite.
I was like, I know I have the permit for this, but it's tough to remember what permits I have.
And then as a sort of, musical piece for this parade float, like a lot of parade floats will have, a band up on the float performing. We invited Block Seeger and the Silver Bullet Band to perform their hit song, That Old Time Rock and Roll.
Oh, fantastic. I see that they're firing a silver bullet from the crossbow there.
Yes, unfortunately, it turns out our parade float driver is actually a werewolf who was confused by the darkness inside the cave as well as our representation of the moon there. And so, yeah, things have kind of gotten out of hand, but it looks like the Silver Bullet Band is taking care of it.
Okay. Like, this was a solid entry. I liked, okay, I took some Minecraft fossils and I made them out of stone, but the Silver Bullet Band, the werewolf in the moon, you've actually unified this entire piece in an exceptionally strong way. Okay, this is...
Thank you.
This is really... this is a very solid entry. If you didn't have the silver bullet, I was like, okay, oh, they put a little silver bullet in there. That's cute. That's okay. This is getting there. And then actual werewolf, actual moon. Okay, next level. This is a very competitive entry. Wow. Okay. So thank you very much once again to Alpacatastic for this incredible entry in the Old Rock Day float building competition. Looks like we've got one more entry back here. Is there a sign? Ah, here it is. A rock, a great big beautiful rock from Zoekins. Zoekins, are you entering via text? Yes, here it is. It's not just a boulder, it's a rock, a great big beautiful rock. The pioneers used to ride these babies for miles. Writes Zoekins. So let's see what we've got here. It's a rock, but it's inside of an aquarium. Ooh. So we are celebrating aquatic rocks. We've got a little allay holding, what is that? A bit of wood there, pulling the tank along. Very cute. We got little wheels. Nice, solid base construction. Fantastic. Zoekins, any other details that you want to share? Zoekins says it's a tribute to SpongeBob SquarePants and his passion for rocks. Famously, he cannot drive a boat, but can perfectly control a rock. And Zoekins says the axolotls are named after my three fur. Three fur is hard to say. My three fur children. So let's hop down here real quick. Oh yeah, I've F1 on. So we've got Bartholomew, Oliver, and I don't think Desirefire is one of the fur children, and Guantanamo Mother. Am I reading that right? Guantanamo Mortimer. Oh, and it's SpongeBob holding a pizza box. Oh, okay. I did not catch that. I thought that was just more coral. But yeah, now that it's super obvious. Krusty Krab pizza delivery, says Zoekins. Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza. Ooh, it's still fresh. Wow. Very cool. Very cool, Zoekins. The opening and closing pizza box is a fun little touch. I really like this. So thank you so much. I think this was your first parade entry, right? If it's not your first, maybe your second. I know you're relatively new to the server. This is a fantastic entry. Thank you for joining. Third, but best. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I am not great with keeping track of things. But yeah, glad to have you. Time does move fast. It's like Smash Mouth says over here. I think this was Smash Mouth, right? Yeah. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. It's back to the rules. And I hit the ground running. Okay, wow. So, let's do a quick flyby to review for anybody who hasn't seen all of the builds. We had the Frugal Wizard with the Sapphire Geode, a fresh take on a Minecraft classic. We had Mailman Dave and Mailman Daughter with this fantastic Talus. We had Dottie Matrix and Mantua Maker with the Red Rocks Amphitheater Smash Mouth performance. Over here, 2 spectacular Spinosaurs from Magenta and Centauratron. We have, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, Superstone's Nuvagatuk Greenstone Belt. We have the host snails, courtesy of Concave, which is not a contestant, but our host. Thank you again, Concave, for hosting. We have a big ol' rock, in fact, a very significant boulder from real life, maybe, by Des being rolled along on these logs here. We have Old Hands by Stellar Spider, an entirely cobblestone piece. Very cool. And then returning to the 2 that we just saw, we have Alpacatastics. I forget the name of this piece. I don't know if it had one, but it's a thing. And Mini Zoekins, a rock, a great big beautiful rock. Oh, sorry, it's not Mini Zoekins. It's just Zoekins here. Okay. Mini Zoekins must be on Twitch because they shrink down. Okay. So, as always, this is a challenging contest to judge. We have a lot of great entries here. Boy. A lot of great entries. Now, so usually we go ahead and we kind of figure out what the prizes are going to be on the fly because I'm bad at this stuff.
We had some suggestions on that if you want it.
Oh, wait, what are your instructions on that, Concave? Can you
Sorry,
type them in the live event chat?
I would. Oh.
I mean, you can say them. You can say them out loud, but I would also like them in writing because I will not keep them in my head very well. I am bad at that sort of thing. Amiable Amanita says, I love seeing what everybody does. Zoekin says, Des, we should have collabed. Your boulder is much more significant. Well, hey, this is a great opportunity to get to work with people you don't normally get to work with. So I'll let Joju start writing that. I was going to put on a music disc real quick. Let's go over to the snails. Oh, wait, I'm not going to be able to hear this as I fly around. Deep Slate Emerald Ore, Nautilus Shells, Heart of the Sea, Heavy Cores. Ooh, Heavy Cores are actually probably really... Heavy Cores are actually probably the best real prize. That's a great suggestion, Joju. I didn't even think about that, because those are hard to get. Okay. So yeah, the problem is, if I put this music on and then want to fly around, I'm not going to be able to hear it. Oh, wait, you know what I do is I go up to Vin Shoken's walkway that we saw earlier, and then I can look at things for the judging while the music is on. Look at that. Yeah. Precipice. Okay, these are always super challenging to judge. We have incredible entries from many, many contestants here. So, yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to kill the music so that as I fly past it, it doesn't zone in and out. Today's floats, y'all really got stuff next level. This is fantastic. Thank you again to our hosts from the Concave Corp. Okay. Now, real quick, to appreciate our third place one, I'm going to turn down our brightness some here. This is a really interesting study of single material use, great use of light and shadow. So our third place is going to go to Old Hands by Stellar Spider. And so we are going to give Stellar Spider a core. Minecraft, not Brain Coral. Probably would have helped if I put C-O-R-E. Hold on. C-O-R-E. Heavy core? Yeah, there we go. So congratulations to Stellar Spider. This is a very interesting build. Very interesting way to look at Minecraft history as well as geological history. The way humans inscribe things into stone. Very neat. So congratulations to Stellar Spider on that. In second place, Stellar Spider's neighbor. It's the Silver Bullet Band with Block Seeger. I'm sorry, but anything that just actually makes me cackle is going to do well in this. You know, this is not a comedy contest, but I already liked Alpacatastic's. The concept was good, okay. Oldest rock on Earth, on the moon, so we're tying in a little bit of real-world science. I love the entries that, you know, really unify the float with the holiday. It feels like a parade float. It's got cute little mud flaps, little wheels. It's got a band. But, yeah, like, the hardest part of judging this was figuring out if this was first place or second place. This was a very close build contest. So, congratulations to Alpacatastic. It's not a comedy contest, but you got to know your audience. That's the thing is, you were solid at all of the core fundamentals, and then you pushed it to 11 on the comedy. So we're going to give Alpacatastic 2 heavy cores. Congratulations. This is a really solid float that you just happen to max out one of the stats on. But, like, you know, like this little rickshaw motorcycle thing. I was like, okay. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh boy, the little rickshaw thing doesn't have a driver. You know, that's not going to help him in the judging. Like, I was really kind of like, you know, I was like, everything else is really good, but like, it was just bothering me. And then you brought it back around. It was just over here. I didn't see the werewolf. It's got solid intentionality, storytelling, link to the holiday, link to Minecraft. It's just a fantastic contribution. Famous rock users, the Flintstones, inspired the little rickshaw thing there. It's just a great little piece. So thank you very much to Alpacatastic for that. And for first place, we are flying back toward the front of the parade. Speaking of the Flintstones and having a gay old time, look at this. It is the fossils, the spine of understanding science, Magenta and Centauratron. Ooh. These dinosaurs have such fantastic musculature. The dinosaurs, absolutely solid on their own. The float, with the wheels and the biome, absolutely solid on its own. Having float presenters, solid on its own. But it's just, you've got this perfect convergence on multiple things. You know, you just absolutely nailed it. it'd be, honestly, one of these dinosaurs on its own would have been a really strong entry. But having the two dinosaurs made from different materials and kind of the idea of how science changes over time, how our understanding of the past changes over time, this is a breakaway hit. I love it. I cannot congratulate y'all enough on the just absolutely nailing the brief here. So, so I'm gonna give Centauratron 2 cores, and I'm gonna give Magenta 2 cores. So that's 4 to our winners total. Okay. And for everybody who attended today, let me get you some deep slate emerald here. Just as a treat. Thank you very much to everybody who showed up. All of these builds were amazing. It was incredibly challenging to pick winners in this. So, yeah. Everybody showed up and did a spectacular job. It is fantastic seeing how everyone on this server grows so much more talented as artists over time. We've been doing these for years now, and every time we do it, I'm just like, wow, I thought I couldn't get more impressed. But clearly, the creativity and industry of this community, we're nowhere near the ceiling. It is fantastic to see such incredible growth in talent, and seeing y'all share that with each other and with me is a true gift. So thank you. Again, thank you to the Concave team for hosting. This was a brilliant choice of theme. This was not on my radar at all. And this is, once again, part of what makes this community great is that I can trust y'all. I can say, hey, pick what you want to do, and I'll roll with it. And, yeah. Clearly, a rolling stone gathers no moss. Although this talus certainly does, since it was embedded in the earth for so long. But yeah, thank y'all so much for contributing to Old Rock Day here on the 10th Orward server. Just flying by each of the builds again. So many cool things here. And yeah, I hope that this encourages some of the folks in the audience and some of the participants to go look up some of the actual historical things. Rocky start, says Zoekins, but best parade so far. I appreciate the humor there. Alrighty. So just as a final reminder, for folks who are watching at home and are interested in joining in future parades, $5 a month gets you Discord access on my Patreon. $10 a month is the threshold for joining the Minecraft servers. We have several servers right now, and this is the one that I'm the lead on. We've also got a modded server and a more chill vanillish server led by Toxic Glitter and Yurgi, respectively. So, hope y'all had a blast here. I'm gonna fly outside to appreciate the artificial mountain one last time here, the allays at the gate. It's a fantastic grand entrance here to a fantastic company town. Okay, let's go ahead and get that loaded in such that it's over there. Yes, perfect. Now we've actually framed that properly. Wandering Falcon says, GG builders, great parade. Thank you very much. Lakshmi13 says, very impressed with every build. Joju says, these were all gorgeous. Yeah, this was a fantastic, fantastic time. I want to thank everybody again. And we need to now go ahead and pull up the list of people that are streaming on Twitch right now. I promised my daughter we would spend some time together after this, so I cannot keep streaming. But there are all sorts of fantastic folks out there streaming. So let me see. Hey, that person that I sent a message to earlier, Zombie Cleo, is live playing The Return of the Obra Dinn. I played this game recently. Now, it does have violence in it, so it might not be the most kid-friendly stream. The game shows basically, you're an insurance investigator trying to solve a bunch of murders. Or are they murders? Who can say? On board a ship or ships. Like, I guess it's one ship, but like several small boats as well. So, when you get over there, our raid message is, howdy y'all, Joe Hill's raid here. Be kind to Zombie Cleo and her friends. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from